Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, if you learn financial literacy, you will become a multi-millionaire within your lifetime. Now, if you watch this video, I'm not only going to tell you my journey from before I was financially literate to where I'm at now, I'm also going to give you the secret resources that I used and I know will benefit you. I will give you those resources in this video as well, so you can go ahead, get the resources and start learning what you need to learn to get on your journey to being financially literate and also having financial abundance in your life. Now, my name is Reese Thompson. I've spent pretty much the last year and a half of my life studying everything I could get my hands on with financial literacy. So any podcast, any book, any video, anything I could get my hands on, I have studied and learned as much as I could. Now, these resources I was learning from, they are from the people who are most financially successful in the world. These are multi-millionaires, these are billionaires. I was learning from their resources. I wasn't learning from someone who has made a couple $1 million in their retirement account or something like that. These people are the top tier of financially successful. To name a few: Grant Cardone, Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki, for the Australian people, Eddie Deline, Daniel Walsh. All these people have businesses, real estate portfolios, and they're worth multi-million dollars, and some of them billionaires. And the most important thing about these individuals that I've been learning from, their empires they have built over years of hard work, years of good decisions. It was built on the foundation of financial literacy. Now, you as the viewer, you're probably in a situation where you've been raised in an environment, middle class, poor family, never been around money, never been around people who are on that level of financial success. And you've been raised to think that money is scarce, the rich are evil, save your money for a rainy day, investing is risky, buy a house and make extra payments to pay it off 2 years earlier over a 30-year mortgage, get a car loan and pay it off, and then once that's paid off, then get a new car loan, etc., etc. I'm here to tell you, if you grew up in an environment where those things were said, you have been taught wrong. And I used to think the exact same as you. All those things that I've just said, I thought for 18 years of my life, until I started studying all these people that are financially successful and I became financially literate myself. Now, to give a little bit of a background on me, just like you, I never grew up around money. My parents are both working class, grandparents working class, uncles, aunties working class. Never been around rich people, never been around wealth or anything like that. My entire life, I was raised in a middle class family, in a middle class suburb. I went to a standard private school where all my peers, all my students, all the people that were my mentors at that school, teachers and stuff like that, they were in the exact same situation. My peers' parents were in the exact same situation. Everyone was working class, everyone was middle to poor class. So without even knowing it, I had been taught my entire life the wrong things about money from the people who were meant to take care of me, teach me the right things and stuff like that, like my parents, teachers, stuff like that. These people were meant to help me, give me the right advice, and obviously at 19, 20 years old, I found out what I was taught my whole life was wrong. Essentially, I'd been brainwashed by the school system, by society. I just been brainwashed my whole life, and you probably have too. Now, obviously, there's nothing me and you could have done about this. We were kids, we didn't know any better, but pretty much we were both set up for financial mediocrity from the very start. Our whole life was going to be faced with financial challenges, financial mediocrity. I found this secret to not only financial security and financial peace and stuff like that, but financial abundance. The big secret that I learned a year and a half ago was financial literacy and financial education. I promise you, that is the one thing you need to learn. That is the one thing to bridge the gap pretty much between a life of financial stresses, arguments between parents, kids, a life of pretty much hating money. If you bridge that gap with financial education and financial literacy, you can have a new life over here where money's not a problem in your family. It's not a problem for you as an individual, and you can live stress-free. And not only can you live stress-free, you can also have the opportunity to create an empire pretty much of money, a financial wall that really can't be broken down, and you can kind of take care of everyone around you, provided you do the right things. And also, anyone can learn this. You don't need to become an entrepreneur. You don't need to run a business. You don't need to do anything fancy. This applies to everyone, whether you're an employee working 40 hours a week, earning 40 grand a year, or you're a lawyer earning 150 grand a year, or if you're a businessman making 500 grand a year. It does not matter. Financial literacy applies to every single person. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you should do to be financially literate because everyone's situation is different. Some of you might have kids, rent, that's a lot more. Whatever your situation, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm here to give you the resources which have helped me, which I know will help you. Now, these 3 resources literally have changed my life over the last year and a half, and they're going to do the same for you if you do take action, if you do buy these resources and you do read them, and then apply the principles you were taught. Now, resource number 1 is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book here is pretty much the foundation of financial literacy, financial intelligence, financial education. Robert Kiyosaki wrote it. He's a genius. This was the first book I read on financial literacy, and it completely just re-brainwashed me into thinking correctly. I'd never thought this way about money in my life, it's just the information there is just so basic and easy for someone who's beginner to understand, but also provides you that new outlook and kind of get you set up as a foundation. Some of the stuff you'll learn is with real estate, taxes, assets versus liabilities, all this basic foundation stuff you need to learn to be able to build off of. It's definitely the best place to start. Now, the second resource is The Richest Man in Babylon. I hope I've said that correctly. Now, this book is based on a story of an individual. I think Babylon was some ancient city in the Middle East or Africa or somewhere around there. And it's based off this individual that pretty much amassed great wealth. And the principles he used to amass that great wealth and have a great fortune of money, the principles he used then are the exact same principles that are prominent in today's world to amass another fortune. So the rules of money and generating a fortune, becoming wealthy and stuff they were the same 200, 300 years ago, whenever that book was written or whatever the story's from. The same rules applied then as they do now. It's never changed. So the stuff you're learning in that book will apply to today. And what you'll find as well when you read that book, a lot of stuff that's mentioned in there, Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Richest Man in Babylon, they're kind of exact same information, just said differently. That's another place for you to build on your financial literacy. Now, resource number 3 is 30 Properties Before 30. This book here is written by a property investor. I think he's based out of Sydney. He came from a poor background, single mother. Okay, so maybe some of you watching this, you come from a poor family as well. His family, I don't think even ever owned a property to live in themselves. And this guy here has been able to generate multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. He doesn't work a job anymore. He has his own business. He has a real estate portfolio paying him thousands of dollars every single week. He's generated a great fortune, and he teaches financial literacy in the book, and then also kind of gives you a formula to actually compound your money, invest your money, grow your money, protect your money over time, and amass a great fortune through building a real estate empire for yourself. This is perfect as well because you don't need to build a business. You don't need to have the skills to build a business. You can be an employee and apply the strategy, apply the principles taught in this book, and you too can generate yourself millions and millions of dollars in real estate, in weekly cash flow and stuff like that as well. So this might be a little bit more advanced on financial literacy and compared to the Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Richest Man in Babylon. But it actually gives you a real life formula and a place and a investing strategy as well to be able to actually implement what you're learning. Now, if you just read these 3 books here, only these 3, you pay for these books, you read them over the course of 3 to 6 months. If you apply the principles and lessons in these books, I guarantee you will have financial success in the future. You will have the ability to live a life you desire. You'll be able to provide for loved ones, people you need to take care of. You'll be able to give back to your community. And you'll be able to follow your dreams and pursue something that you can actually make a real change in the world. So the total value pretty much from those 3 resources is a life of infinite money if you really wanted it. It's a life of success. It's a life of joy. It's a life of freedom. It's a life of giving back to those who have given to you. And all it costs you is $43.80. Now, these links are in the description. You can literally go down below, click on the link, buy your books right now. Take action straight away. Do it while you're kind of keen on this. Take the action, buy the books, read the books, apply the principles, and I guarantee you, if you do this, you're going to set your life up for success.